The few things that you need to know about French. Let's dive this in. So, French is a beginner civilization. I would regard it as a beginner civilization. It's up there with English and HRE, as per our tier list as well. Now, what you do with French is you go for the normal split. And when I say the normal split, keep an eye on your scout. Don't forget that. Make sure you constantly make villages and they're rallied onto your sheep. Spread them out a little bit so they don't run all the way. Once you have 7, you can go on gold. Some people prefer to do 8 on gold. 8 on food before they go to gold. But in this case, it's perfectly fine to just 7 and then start going for gold. When you rally onto gold, on the way, you make a house, you make a camp. And the reason I'm doing the 7-3 is also because when you're playing a civilization like French, you're not... You're basically doing a build that works for most civilizations. Most civilizations do fine with 7-3. So you will never run out of food and gold if you start with a 7-3, so you can properly get your age up timing. Now, we're gonna get to the meat of French very soon. I just need to get to making 9. Okay. Now, the first thing with French that you need to know is you are gonna run out of food. French units are really expensive. They're knights, you know? So, French units are very expensive and you're gonna need to have a lot of food. So what's gonna happen here is you're gonna try and look for a deer pack or for a boar that you can go for. Now, the reason French gets to go out on the map and go for very greedy food sources is purely because your opponent is not as aggressive as you. As long as you are aggressive and keep them in their base, they're not going to be able to punish you. But you also don't want to go blindly, right? Like now I have 9-4, I'm going to move one here and put it on food here. And unlike the other civilizations where you age up and you're stuck with very little resources, you need to make sure that you are doing this very smart. Like, 4 on food is not going to be able to get you a knight. So I need a lot more on food to give me a knight. Even 4 on gold might be a little bit too much, but you want to get upgrades as well. That's why I have 4 on gold. Now, what makes French quite strong is the fact that your upgrades are a little bit cheaper as well, which is very nice. So this also allows you to get wheelbarrow really early on. So now I'm rallying my TC onto food just to be sure that I have enough food to build a knight. So again, you are French. You have to be aggressive. You have to make sure that you are controlling them so they can't come to you and harass you. So that is your goal as French. Your goal can be many things, but that should be your main goal, being harassing. And you can see I'm going for the deer. That's quite far from my base. It's not necessarily the best of ideas. Let me see, instantly, wheelbarrow. But I keep an eye on my gold. Your eyes are always at the bottom. Keep an eye on the gold and you're like, okay, what do I need to get my first knight? My first knight, I need gold. The second thing I need is a house. I don't have enough wood right now, so I might get pop-capped. If I can see my food is still not looking too good, but I'm going to send these guys to be very greedy. Let's go and scout our opponent's base after we pick up all these juicy pieces of sheep. Now, I'm not going to play too well against the bot because I want to show you something. And if I just run and destroy the bot, you're not gonna learn anything, right? So because you're... Ooh, quickly. And now I instantly queue up a knight. The moment you age up, you need to have enough resources to queue up a knight. Right now we saw that was 9-4, but your food's going to run out eventually. And these guys are also going to food, so I'm going to get the rest of them on wood. So my knight is going to be able to pop out. I want to go see where my opponent is, because I need to go harass him. Usually you look for his gold or for his food. So I rally my knight instantly towards here. I see he pulls his villagers away. A human usually doesn't do it that way. Let me just quickly get my camp here. And I keybind this. Instantly, when it comes out, I just say Control 1. Now, my scout always on number 2. My knight on number 1. And I saw a yellow dot here on the map. So again, I am very aggressive here. I am being very, very greedy. Being this far out on the map, I could get raided. I could get destroyed. But that is why you have to keep them in their base the whole time. So again, you have to make sure you have enough resources to keep getting units. What I'm doing now is not a good idea. You shouldn't be chasing a scout. I'm just killing the food because I know that he's going to run out of food at some point. While I'm at this, keep getting upgrades. Keep getting upgrades. French has cheap upgrades. Keep getting you upgrades. These guys, they are going to run out of food pretty soon. I'm going to go take them and put them on the ball. Let's go get my knight that I've keybound to number 1, and I keep an eye on it. With French, it's very important to watch your units. Do not stop watching. If you stop watching your units, they're gonna die. Keep making villages all the time. I forgot, because French has a lot more things to do. Now, my next knight is out. I'm gonna keybind him to number 3. So, because you're still a new player, you probably don't want to have 2 control groups. You're only gonna do 1. You're gonna put both knights in the same hotkey. And then when you harass, you only need to look at one of them. Because right now, I'm looking at 2 of them, and I need to keep it alive. Now, I'm not going to mess with it and try to go for another knight. I'm not good at French. I'm going to go check his food. I see... Oh, I can snack on a villager. A knight will usually charge and kill a villager in 2 shots. Now, I get a villager, and I back off. You don't want to lose too much HP on a knight. You want to get to getting chivalry so that it looks good. But the reason we attack from 2 sides is because people at early ranks, they get very overwhelmed very quickly. I'm going to get a little horse as well. So now I'm going in with my knight. I should be charging. I have no idea why I didn't charge. I think you have to have a bigger distance. You go in, you go out. But you don't leave your knight in. That is the most important with French. Don't leave your knight and be like, oh, just leave him there. He's going to be fine. He's not going to be fine. He's going to be dead. So make sure you do not do that. And again, we're on external food sources because, again, French loves himself some. Oh. Don't lose a villager to the ball. Okay, good. These guys are getting their food. And one thing to also do that really works at lower ranks is getting 1 tower here. But you don't send more than that. Okay, so now I just AFK'd with my knights because, you know, I'm really overwhelmed and I'm playing like a gold right now. But French goes for an archer composition as well. Make sure your buildings are hotkeyed. So I get my archers ready because now I'm going to be playing against something. And now I'm going to attack the food and I'm going to attack the wood at the same time. So I'm going to go click, right click, A move. Right click, A move. So now they're going to go and attack. So let's go see what he's going to do. Is he going to pick anything up? The villagers are looking spicy. This one is also looking spicy. But you want to keep an eye on both of them. You are not going to lose your units. You want to make sure that this guy stays alive and he does as much damage as possible. You don't need to mic or anything else. Just keep an eye on them. Make sure... Oh, this one's getting a little bit low. Let's move him out. This one is still doing okay. That's fine. I'm going to get 1 more and I'm going to run away. Again, you don't want to lose them because French has the ability where they heal. So now, when they're a low HP knight, they're out of order. You don't use them. And you again go for their resources, see what you can get. Now I'm being a little bit greedy. I'm like, oh, let me see if this horse can tank some damage. Well, my knight also comes and does some work, but this is very risky. You can lose your knight like this. But you see now, this bot is about a gold level, like maybe high silver gold. And if you've only played 60, you can do fine against one of those. But let's get more units. Now I'm going to pull all my units back. I have a select all army key because I get really overwhelmed. And I'm quickly going to get an upgrade. If you're playing against English, they're probably going to go longbows. So you get your upgrades. When you have the resources, get upgrades. And I can see my resources are very imbalanced right now. I don't have enough gold. I'm floating too many resources. I need to make more units. If you are floating resources, I just lost a knight. If you're floating resources, you need to be making units. If you are queuing up this many, you don't have enough production buildings. So right now, I know I don't have enough production buildings. So I'm going to make more production buildings because my queue is too long. If I see my queue is too long, I know I messed something up. Keep making villages. And now, keep making knights. Now, this is where you have to ask yourself, what is your decision? Did you decide that you're going to stay in feudal and attack? And that's what I would suggest. If you are a new player, stay in feudal, attack. Keep your opponent in feudal as well. The moment you allow your opponent to go to castle, even when he does go castle, I know I killed so many things. Now I keybind my knights as 1, and I attack move. They're going to go charge and kill the villagers. And in your rank, what you do is you attack the building. If it's halfway, or you just attack it. Because when they try to cancel it now, they don't get all their resources back. So now again, you see I have too many resources. So I have to ask myself, what am I doing wrong? Not making enough units. So I'm just going to queue up units, queue up more units, and I'm going to try to rebalance my economy a little bit. I need a little bit more on food. My food economy is not too strong. I have too much wood. So take some of your villages from there and feel fine. Now, once you have that down, I am selecting my whole army. My next step to improving is always put your ranged unit in one key. So I double click, select all my archers, I put them on number 3. Number 3 is now my ranged units. The next one is my melee units. Just make sure all our units are here together. All my melee units are now going to be key bound together. I'm going to put all of them on 1. So now, when I attack my opponent, and he makes something like Spearman, I will be able to quickly move my units back with those keys that I just told you. And again, if you see you have gold, and you're constantly making units, get upgrades. You can afford it. If you have resources, spend it. Now I have 200 wood. What can I do with that? Honestly, I'm gonna do the thing you're not supposed to do with French. I'm going for farms because I have the resources. So now, you have made a decision. I'm clicking number 1, making sure that these guys are also on number 1. I'm gonna go and run around with number 1 and try to deny some of his resources. Again, that's what you need to do. Constantly be denying. These ranged units, this is very risky, but in lower ranks, this is fine. Just gonna try to... These guys are the mobile ones. They can run away. So you want to keep these guys safe, away from the opponent, and you don't want to fight spearmen with these. But with this amount, you're fine. But, oh, I don't want to take that much damage, so I'm gonna take part of my group around. I'm gonna make them run around and A move here. These guys, oh, I don't want to lose them. Let's just run away. I'll take a few shots from the TC. Even if they're gonna die, let's make the most of it. So they're gonna die, but let me just try and get a villager kill or 2 on the way. Now you can see I'm floating a lot of resources, but I look at my balance and I'm like, oh, I can age up. Wow. So, once you hear that, you instantly go to it. Now these guys are chasing me, and now this is why we have our ranged units here. Our ranged units are here to back these up. The ranged units will deal with the spearmen. You run around, you just let him attack, blah 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 blah, and you're good to go. And now I can age up. So let's go back and get some units. You don't use the gold villages to age up. You can use the wood ones. The reason for that is because you need gold for your upgrades to castle. So when you get to castle, you're gonna need to make upgrades. And you can see this idle time now, they are healing. But this guy who's full, what are you supposed to do with this guy? You fucking attack. You go in and you attack. These guys, let's pretend they're all low HP. I'm like, okay, you guys deserve a rest. But this full HP guy, he's gotta attack. You can see. Sometimes you just rally units into their base, you'll lose a few. But keep making units now. You see, oh, I have resources. Gotta use them. So now this knight's gonna keep me busy. This one is full, so you use it again. You don't want to lose your units. You want to be careful. Keep an eye on your knights. Keep an eye on. What are you doing, brother? Make more archers. Now, the reason I'm not making a lot more knights is because I want to use some of my resources for upgrades. Now, this guy's getting a little bit low. I think I can get another villager kill. No, we run away. Run away, run away, run away. And this guy, he's full HP. They can chase you all they want. You just go, you snack on a villager. Snack. Dead. Run around. Just keep him busy. Now you age up. Now you don't go and attack. You stay. You get your upgrades. You get your knight upgrades. So if your units are on his base, just be careful. Just be careful. You can fight one unit. That's not a problem. But you do not take a big fight. You stand back and you wait for your upgrades to kick in. Make sure you don't get pop-capped like I'm about to. So I'm going to get this upgrade. I'm going to get that upgrade. And I would like my archer upgrade too. So guys, can you deliver more gold, please? I have too much on wood. Okay, we have 19 idle. We need to do something with them instantly. Let's go put them on stone. Because I would like to drop a keep. But the game is not going to go that long. I'll end it in a moment. So, what you're going to do is, you just want to fight. You're ahead. What do? Get your upgrades, and you go fight again. So now we're just waiting for upgrades to kick in. You see your eco is not balanced completely. You have too much food, but you don't have any other resources to spend it on. Then you need to get more units on other resources. So I need more on here. I need more on gold as well. And my upgrade is about to kick in. My upgrade is about to kick in. Now we can just fight because he's still feudal. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be careful about it. The thing is, you get a lot of damage. I'm gonna move them here. I'm gonna just keep an eye on them. I'm gonna be like, okay, let's see, is there anything here? There are some villagers. Now you take your second group and you're like, number 2. Group number 2. Go stand over here. And I press V to stand still. I know there's a villager. I know it can attack it, but I want to do it in slow motion. And then number 3. Group number 3. Let's go see what you guys can attack. And now, when they're all in position, because microing is really hard, you just select all army and you move. So now, keep an eye on it. Every time you hear an alarm go off, run, keep him busy. Because now, he's going to struggle to take care of your 13 attacks at the same time. You see his army is like, oh, I need to kill this. But even though he's chasing my army here, he's not able to stop the rest of my armies. These guys shouldn't be attacking the tower. They should be coming here. And now his army is on these guys, so now I move them. I move all of these. I'm like, oh, don't attack me, blah, blah, blah. And as they're running, they're just clicking on villagers. You click, and you run. These guys just run around and attack stuff. And yeah, then you, once you're like, oh, I killed all his units, retreat, all of them. Pull your army back. You can see, oh, there's no easy kills for me. And then you just kill him. With rams or whatever. Make rams. Don't try to tower dive him all the time. Even that attack I just did could have been way better if I just got rams. If I got rams, that would have been a death. So yeah, my favorite thing is to go and proper keep in their base. Don't do that. It's a very bad idea. It's just a bad habit I have. So yeah, anyway. That is it.